Yo.
Welcome to the podcast, Chris Sintetos, the bear.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
It's great to have you, man.
It's very cool what you guys are doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. We looked at the market and we were like, okay, what's missing?
Couple more white guys.
Couple white guys in their 20s.
Somewhat conservative opinions.
Complaining about cancel culture mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throwing in some pro Sydney Sweeney takes from time to time.
That's all I talk about.
Are you guys pro Sydney Sweeney?
Oh, dude.
I can take the opposite here. And
really?
I find anyone who just gets somewhere because they're super attractive, I find to be the most annoying thing on the planet.
Yeah, I would die for those titties, dude.
I know. I know why people like them, but I don't know. I keep seeing articles about how hard she works, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, it did get me when she talked about, she was like, it was in the midst of the writers and actors strike, like, you know, the Hollywood turmoil, and she was like, yeah, I can't stop, I can't take a vacation, like, I have to keep working.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you mean like every other person? Like, what are you comparing this to? Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I have to work 40 hours a week, dude. It's rough.
Yeah. I thought she was decent on Euphoria. It was like decent
Euphoria.
acting. It's
I'm sure she's fine. I just there is just something about the Hollywood stars just talking about how hard they work where I'm like, just shut up. Just take your money and enjoy it. Don't tell me you work hard.
Yeah.
I find it obnoxious that they have to turn these people into like, not only are they getting paid $40 million for 3 months of hard work, but they also deserve it. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it used to be, like, we're kind of, like, historically speaking, modern Western society is unique in putting actors on a pedestal in this way. Like, in like, ancient Greek society, I remember learning, where I learned this is lost in my head forever, but I'd be willing to bet it's true, that being an actor was seen as like a vulgar thing. Like, they weren't, it was seen kind of more accurately as like, oh, you're skating off of like entertainment. That's not really a real job.
Yeah.
So you should be kind of embarrassed that this is how you're spending
Well,
your life.
Yeah, they were more jesters and shit like that. Right?
Well, I think in our society, I think that's probably true until you become the superstar.
Right.
Like when you're like us comedians, I think people who are outside are like, yeah, get your fucking shit together. But everyone knows Bill Burr is making millions of dollars, and that guy's cool. But until you get to that point, I think everyone, like all my friends who are not in the comedy world, I'm sure they're like, what is he doing?
Yeah. Dude, shout out Trisha Thompson. She had a joke that made me laugh that she put up the other day, which is like, people say all comedians are depressed, and it's like, I'm not depressed. My life is just depressing to people who are looking at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that clip. Yeah,
that's great.
That pretty much nails it.
That's a great take.
Yeah.
And I think that's right. I just had a get together with a bunch of college friends, and they're all pregnant. Mm-hmm. Like, they all are married, and their wives are pregnant, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to open mics tomorrow. You know? And they probably are like talking about me behind my back, like, what is wrong with this person? But I am having the time of my life.
Me too. That is unironically how I feel about it. I wonder if it would be different if I was a woman and I had to make like the biological countdown part of like the way I thought about it, but as of right now, like, I feel pretty fucking good. I've never...
I feel great. I don't care at all.
Yeah. Have your parents ever hit you with like, all right, it's time to, you know, settle down, like, produce offspring? Obviously, Kenny has a kid. So
yeah.
You have a child?
Yeah, he's almost 9. He'll be 9 in a couple weeks.
9 years old?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah. Kenny's a single dad, which is basically the ultimate life. I think that's the perfect...
It's fun, dude. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I like it.
It's a son?
Yes. Yep.
Is he like a little you, or is he different
dude.
than you?
Oh, nah, dude. He's a little menace, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
He's funny as hell.
Wingmanning sidekick.
He gives me so much material, too. Because he'll just say shit, and I'll just repeat it on stage and be like, hey, isn't that funny? My son said this.
Yeah, and I feel like if you, like, if it's honest, the audience is so happy that you're a dad.
Yeah.
I feel like the audience loves dad stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Louis C.K.'s entire career it was like going like okay for like 20 years, and then he started shitting on his kids.
And people loved it. But everyone does
Yeah.
it. Kreischer does it. He's always talking about his kids. Seinfeld said that like getting married and having kids was like, I will never run out of material.
Yeah.
Like I was worried about running out of material, and then you have kids, and you're like, oh, there's it's never ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah, I think the only thing that gets in the way of comedy for people and having kids and getting married is just time.
I know, you got to give those people attention. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
It's bullshit.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, but it is an infinite content machine. I mean, wife fights, because it's also relatable. That's what everybody in the
Anyone
audience
who's
is
married,
going through.
you can relate to.
Yeah,
Anyone who has a
you
kid,
can
you can
relate
relate to, because I'm sure when your kid throws up in your car, like, if you talk about that, people are like, that, I remember.
Dude, driving
I remember
Uber,
that
I had a
happened.
lady, I've yet to have anybody throw up in the car, but I had a lady get in the car and then instantly be like, I'm going to throw up, and just open the door, before I'd even started going, just open the door, lean out, puke, and then sit back inside the car and was like, so how are you doing? I was like, I'm better than you, apparently. Like,
Do you drive late at night, or is it mostly daytime stuff? Because I feel like the late night Ubers would always have stories of people puking and
it varies.
Just rowdy shit.
just rowdy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
My life is a battle between these two things, because it's so much better for my like sleep and mental health and state of mind to drive during the day and to be like alongside the rest of society, but driving at night is way better because the roads are empty and it's just peaceful and quiet and really nice. As far as crazy people, like if I go out if I'm asking for it, if I go to Southie on a Friday or a Saturday,
Yeah, you're gone.
then I'm fucked, because I'm gonna be picking up drunk college people.
Yep.
None of them have puked in my car. They'll just be loud and obnoxious, and like I had a really bad experience last week. I picked up some girls from the Nicki Minaj concert. Not only were we stuck in Nicki Minaj traffic for 40 minutes,
Yep.
but these girls, they were
Also, their boyfriends were rapists.
yeah,
Minaj
rapist
joke.
pedophiles
Yeah.
apparently.
Yep.
It's amazing. Her image did not suffer from that at all.
Surprisingly, yeah, dude.
I don't even know.
Nicki
what it is.
Minaj's
She's married to,
husband
like,
was, a convicted sexual
Predator?
Predator, yeah.
Yeah, like a
Sex
pedophile.
offender?
Yep.
Doesn't seem to bother anybody. Anyway, they were uploading their Instagram stories, which were just videos of the concert. You know, the video that nobody ever watches or cares about.
Yeah.
But it's
Tap,
that
tap, tap.
same song, like "Starships are meant to fly," and because they're editing it, they're doing it over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, this is literally, I've been listening to a podcast on Guantanamo Bay, like, this is literally what they would do. It's like, play loud, shitty pop music on repeat for hours and hours.
Over and over again.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, that's the worst of it. I do deliberately, I try not to drive on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I wouldn't do
Because that's just genuinely scary, like the amount of drunk drivers on the road.
Yeah, true.
that. Yeah. In Boston,
Oh, yeah.
this is prime time to drinking and driving.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even think the cops would care.
Well, they got too much to do.
They're just
probably
too busy.
doing it,
They're
too.
just way too busy.
They're too busy driving drunk home from the bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like St. Patty's Day here is like a real religion. And like other places, like in DC, there are like a few bars where you'll be like, oh, it's packed. But in Boston, it's like, dude, people are just on the streets. Like, it's insane.
Hey, we got a lot of mix here, man.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. What is Sintetos? Is Sintetos Greek?
Yeah, it's Greek.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you been to Greece?
Never been to Greece. Don't speak a lick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just your regular white guy.
There's no part of your life that's at all informed. I mean, that's how
my grandparent generation, they could all speak it. So they were first generation. So like growing up, we did Greek Easter. We celebrated Greek holidays, and they would cook and everything. But I feel like after 3 generations, you're Americanized. No one remembers how to cook. No one speaks.
Yeah, it got lost.
No one speaks the language. It's all gone, and you're just another white kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes if that's like, if we're suffering mentally on some level by being so disconnected from our roots. Like I have Dutch and Slovenian roots on my mom and dad's side respectively, and I have no relationship with them whatsoever. Like, I don't think about them at all. I could do 23andMe and like look at, you know, the tree or whatever, but I really do just think of myself as American. And I wonder if people are happier on some level for if they have that connection with like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty glad I'm American.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, America obviously fucking rules.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't know. I think about it, like the idea that I've heard this story a million times about my great granddad getting on a boat and going over the ocean. You're like, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That you're just getting on a boat and it's like the equivalent of getting on a rocket ship and going to the moon. Like, you have no idea. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
But as far as what we were doing before him, I don't have a clue. I have absolutely no idea, and I don't think about it that much.
It's a literal origin story.
It's
like life begun at Ellis Island.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Do you have any relationship with your roots, Kenny?
Not really. I'm a little bit Greek, a little bit Portuguese, a little, and like half Irish.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but no, I don't speak Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
I celebrate St. Patrick's Day by getting drunk. That's about as far as my roots go. Oh, shit.
Speaking of conservative politics, I listened to this podcast a while ago. John Mearsheimer being interviewed by Lex Friedman, and he's like this realist politics guy at University of Chicago, kind of like Kissinger-esque style. And he had this really great stat about America that I thought was so cool, which is that like we're losing to everybody in terms of reading and like healthcare and all this stuff. But the one stat where we crush everybody else in the world is freedom. Integration. So like it takes if the three of us were to move to China tomorrow, it would take a long like several generations for us to penetrate if we ever do. In terms of like becoming Chinese in that way, whereas Americans naturalize almost instantly, like relative to the rest of the world. Isn't that cool? Like,
I would hate to have to leave my Winnie the Pooh shirts at home.
Wait, you mean that like if we moved to China, it'd be easier for us, or people who move to here, they can actually just become American?
A Chinese person moving to America becomes American way faster.
Oh
than an American person moving to China.
Yeah, I agree with that totally.
Yeah.
Because I think our culture really is almost non-existent.
Right.
Like, you can do anything.
Yeah.
There is no, like, in China, dude, you ain't become Chinese.
Yeah.
I ain't becoming Chinese. They wouldn't accept us at all.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm not saying we don't have our problems. like America has serious problems, but I feel like they're amplified to a point where it's like, where do you think you could go?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I've been to Ireland and they didn't like me. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know where you think you can go where people are going to be like totally cool with you being there.
It is funny to call us racist. It's like, compared to who?
I mean, we're racist, but everyone's but I think everyone's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's a scale more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
We're less racist than almost anywhere else.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anyway,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I've only really ever been here, but the other countries that I've been to, I wasn't like, oh, this is so welcoming. That was not my thought.
Of course not.
That was not my thought.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. I just thought it was cool because it's just like people like to talk about like World War III or whatever, China overtaking us, and it's like we just as a culture we absorb the good ideas from the rest of the world way more efficiently than any other culture. So even though we're not teaching our kids how to read, and the food is poison, at the end of the day I still have hope for us.
The food is definitely poison.
Food is fucking poison.
We are eating poison at a ridiculous rate.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, like, I remember there was a point where, like, microplastics was like, this is a conspiracy theory Looney Tune thing, and now I'm reading it in every major magazine, and every time I look at anything that I'm eating, I'm like, this is in plastic. Everything is in plastic. Peanut butter is in plastic. The chicken is wrapped in plastic. Everything is in plastic, and I'm like, oh, I'm just drinking plastic all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, that has always seemed reasonable to me. That's never seemed outlandish.
I mean, I thought it was crazy when I first heard it on certain podcasts and shit. I was like, oh, these guys are nuts. But now I'm reading it in, like, Consumer Digest.
Of course.
Which is, like, the most mainstream thing you can read. It's, like, how to protect yourself from plastic. And I'm like, oh, like, people are catching... This is not crazy anymore.
Like it or not, there is a, like, Joe Rogan to Consumer's Digest pipeline that's just like a 6-month delay.
It's crazy that was a Joe Rogan psychopath thing, and now, like, my parents are like, hey, have you heard about microplastics? I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah. I heard about this a while ago.
I mean, it's like, I feel like a normal person could figure it out. You leave a fucking Poland Spring bottle out for a couple days, and the water tastes different. It's like, well, what do you think that is?
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
Yep.
It's not that crazy.
And then I eat garbage. I love the garbage.
Me too.
Like, I like McDonald's.
Do you use the McDonald's app?
I like Wendy's. I didn't know they had an app.
Dude, you save so much money, it's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you're a regular, you're saving money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat plenty of McDonald's.
Because McDonald's isn't even, like, cheap food anymore. It's like, it's expensive as fuck, dude.
Not if you use the app.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's worth it. Mike DuPont was just telling me that last night, actually. He's like, oh, yeah, if you eat McDonald's at all, you should just download the app because it's like you save a bunch of money.
I think that's the trick, is they trick us into thinking that we're saving money by going to the app. We're probably just spending, like, the regular amount.
Yeah,
but because it's compared to the normal menu price, we think we're winning.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer that if you think you're saving money, you're definitely spending more money.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm saving money on this new
t-shirt. It's like well, now I'm just eating a lot of McDonald's.
That's true.
I think that's what it does. I don't think McDonald's is like, hey, we want you guys to save money. I don't think they're doing that.
No, they want to fill us with McDonald's.
They just want you to buy way more McDonald's.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's like the Black Friday thing where they have like all the sale prices. Yeah. And if you look underneath, it's the exact price that it used to be before Black Friday.
That whole thing is... I love the Black Friday phenomenon. I mean, I love it in the same way that I love 9/11. You know, it's like just like this profound.
Oh, we're back at this.
That tells us so much about America and American culture. I just remember years ago going with my buddies to Walmart on Black Friday, not to shop, but just to witness.
To see it.
Just to witness. It blew my fucking mind. It's however many people you think it is, it's more.
I have never done Black Friday.
Me neither.
I've never done. What is that? That's the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I've never done that.
So you're leaving your family to go, or you're bringing your family with you.
Yeah, but I think that's a good idea. Just go see it.
Yeah, just from an anthropological.
And that's totally an American. Has that caught on elsewhere? Like, does that happen in London?
They don't have enough freedom.
They don't have enough freedom.
Yeah.
Our freedom causes riots over sales.
Dude,
because Thanksgiving's also only an American holiday.
True.
Yeah, but I have friends who are foreign who, like, do Thanksgiving. I feel like it's spread. Everyone wants to eat a lot, and...
True.
I think it's spread enough.
Yeah, I mean, like, Santa, the way we know him right now, it was essentially a creation of Coca-Cola.
It's a Coca-Cola idea.
That was an advertising campaign. So, like, all these ideas, lo and behold, America has produced a very materialist approach to Christmas, this pagan holiday that had nothing to do with the fat guy in a white beard. But I would imagine we've exported that all over the world, too.
All over. Christmas is awesome.
Christmas rules.
Christmas is still sick.
Coca-Cola was right.
Like the fact that...
Yeah, no, they nailed it.
Yeah.
The fact that they were like, yeah, let's just, like, get gifts for kids.
Yeah.
And make up this absurd lie that you totally believe in until you're, like, 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I believed it a little bit too long. Like, I think towards the end, my dad was getting a little annoyed.
Are you the oldest?
I'm an only child.
Okay. I think that you're more likely to believe way long. I had an older brother who at some point was like, yo, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does your kid still believe?
Yeah.
9 years old?
He's about to be 9, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
When does it start to get weird?
I don't know. I'm sure it's all relative to the other kids.
Yeah.
You don't want. I mean, Rogan had a great bit about this. He's like, you don't want your kid to be the last one to
But
find
you
out
don't want
Santa's
to be
real.
the one that ruins
But you
it.
don't want
Yeah.
them to be the first one either.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just wait until someone at school tells them, and then be like,
Confirm.
"Yep."
Yeah.
Be like, "Yeah, dude, that was me that whole time. Isn't that
Yeah.
sick?"
Isn't that cool that I buy you sick shit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Somehow it never bothered me. I would imagine there are some kids that have the wherewithal to be, like, annoyed at the dishonesty from the parent. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like,
I think I was just so disappointed. I don't think I was mad at my parents for lying. I was just like, that sucks that that's not real.
right.
Because
Yeah.
it was sick.
Yeah.
It was a sick thing to believe in. To be like, oh yeah, there's fucking reindeer flying around.
There's reindeer flying around. You have this guy who's delivering packages to 8 billion people. I mean, China alone would be a wild like, couple hours. For
Yeah,
Canada,
true.
You know, my favorite meme that I've seen about it recently is just like, it's incredible that he knows to give the rich kids good gifts and the poor kids shitty ones.
That's great. That's
Yeah,
great.
keep it fair. But yeah, speaking of Black Friday, also like going and seeing the lines the night before is wild. Also the next day, because it takes the staff of whatever Walmart or Target or whatever way like several days to like bring the store back to normal. It's like a stampede of animals went through it. Like truly,
Yeah.
it's like broken stuff all over the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Probably blood splatters.
I just
somewhere.
love that there's large groups of people who are like, we're doing this.
Mhm.
Like, we're gonna fucking beat the shit out of each other for the last doll.
Tim Dillon was in a movie earlier this year called Thanksgiving where he played a security guard standing in front at Black Friday, and he has this great line like holding people back, like, "You'll get your fucking waffle iron."
Yeah, but I sort of, I don't know. I don't know. Everyone hates America now, but I think it's so cool. I think it's the coolest fucking place.
I don't know, dude.
That we-
I don't know. I was listening to a podcast the other day about Americanization. It's these two British guys and their perspective on like just the phenomenon of how America has like become
Taken
the world
over.
hegemon and like exported its culture everywhere. And they pointed to an example that wouldn't have occurred to me. They were like, George Floyd's death changed like the entire world. It like created.
I never even realized that.
I
assumed that this
did
was
either.
totally localized in America.
I would have assumed so too, but they
Yeah.
were like, no, there were a lot of social justice movements in Europe and around the world writ large because of that. And it's like, if you think about the atrocities going on in the world, like the Uyghur Muslims in China, for example, you have literal concentration.
I don't even know what that is.
China
'Cause I'm American.
has subjugated. Yeah, you're too free. You're too free to know about people who were that enslaved.
If we move to
I
America,
also okay. So wait, this is in China.
This
Yeah.
is in China. Yeah.
Well, I know that China's not that cool.
Right, and they're particularly uncool to this group of non-Han Chinese
Yep.
Uyghur Muslims.
Yeah.
And the guys were just pointing out, like, look, you know, maybe when we start taking what's going on in China as seriously, I mean, this is thousands of people they're doing this to.
Yeah.
In America, one guy dies.
Yeah, but
and the whole world
I
changes.
mean, this is a very like news obsessed problem. Like it was like for me, I thought the funniest thing in the world was when, and I hate to bring this up, when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. I was like, this is nothing. I don't care about this at all. I think if you care about this, you're a moron. Like I think you're a stupid person for caring about two guys you've never fucking met.
Right.
And you're willing to keep this in the news cycle for months. And people thought it was important. People were like, I gotta take a stand. Whose side am I on? And you're like, this is nothing. This doesn't matter at all. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
yep.
So, like, the fact that was able to have legs for months, years, people talking about it. I mean, how many jokes have you seen about it?
It still gets referenced.
It still
every so
gets
often.
references.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a big thing. It's still something that people talk about, and it's just like, and at the same time, like there's like slavery all over. No one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares.
Yeah.
So it's just an issue of like what is shiny that people will look at is always the thing that's gonna stick in the news, and it's never. You can always point and be like, oh, but what about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know, the slap thing to me, obviously you're absolutely right, is a wildly insignificant thing given all the airtime it got.
I hated it.
I do think it was like a good, like I think moments like this, like I had the same reaction to Andrew Huberman getting in trouble a couple weeks ago. He's like he has one of the top podcasts. He's a health guru guy. He's kind of an Uber Rogan type character. He's like ice baths and don't drink alcohol and all this stuff.
Possibly fraudulent, but maybe a genius.
I mean, he was a professor at Stanford, he's got his bona fides, but anyway, it turned out that he had like 5 girlfriends all at once that he was lying to constantly, and he got busted for this, and people were like, this isn't news, like, he's allowed to be an asshole in his personal life, who cares? But it was like, the article I read about it was like, this is really what this is like a fascinating psychological lens into narcissistic personality disorder. It's like, this is just it's an example. So in the case of the slap, it's like, this is, to me, it was like a perfect psychological window into the problems with polyamory and how open relationships do not work. And how Jada Pinkett Smith is a fucking like nightmare.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I mean, I think it was like, I don't know.
You get cucked by your son's friend, dude. That's pretty tough.
I know.
Yeah, so everyone knows way more about the background of it. Like, I had no idea that Jada was like going on TV and being like, I'm blowing I'm blowing your son's friend.
Dude, she sat Will down on her show
on TV,
and they talked about it for like 30 minutes.
It's horrific.
Oh, dude, like just the looks on his face is brutal, dude. That's a broken man,
but
dude.
Isn't it,
it's bad.
Isn't it so bizarre that but we love that. Like, that probably got a bunch of clicks.
Oh, for
People
sure.
were
dude.
like, yeah, this is it. This is what's important right now.
Oh yeah,
they love it.
We love nothing more than seeing a guy literally at the top. He won an Oscar that night. Like, the guy at the very top of his game
and
just get destroyed.
Everyone loves it. America loves the come up, and then they love watching you just get fucking crushed. They like that way more.
Yeah,
they like that way more. Mm-hmm. Who has like never come down? Who are like the people that like?
I mean,
I guess
probably Bill Cosby.
I don't know. Leo's still good.
Leo gets crushed for the 25-year-old thing.
That's true. Yeah. But that's cool though.
It does rule.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It does rule. 25th happy birthday, babe. Bye.
Yeah, we'll see ya.
He seems like a real moron. He seems like 24, 25 is like that's your intelligence level.
Right.
I don't see him going any further. I've heard stories that, and here I am, I'm like, you shouldn't care about this shit. And I'm like, I know everything about Leo. I heard he had a girlfriend who like did a tell-all, and she was like, our dates would be watching movies in his theater, and he would act out the parts like in Star Wars. He would just like get a fake lightsaber and just do noises.
That's fucking sick, dude.
For the entire date. And you're like, this is what I would expect from a person who has been a wealthy, I don't know, treated like a god from age 13 or however old he was. You'll never get any different. You'll stay 13.
Yeah, you lock in.
If they give you $30 million at 13, you're like, all right, cool, bubblegum forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you how many times I've recited the Anakin to Obi-Wan lines from Revenge of the Sith, dude.
Yeah, that's like one of the number one memes that is rolling through my Instagram at all times.
They
know
dude.
I love that.
Yeah.
You were the chosen one?
Yeah.
I hate you.
I hate you.
To bring balance to the Force.
Not destroy it.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's so good. No, but the other thing I was going to say was after that Nickelodeon doc, I bet Leo, because Leo was coached by that dude Brian Peck who fucked Drake.
Yes. I wonder what movies.
Wait, Drake. So you guys gotta catch me up. Drake got banged.
So Drake Bell
got.
Oh, that Drake. Yeah. You just said Drake, and I thought other Drake.
Who did also have a television career as a child. So.
True.
Oh yeah, he was on Degrassi.
Yeah. So.
That Kendrick AI thing said that Diddy fucked him, which is hilarious. I don't know if you saw that song. It was that one's obviously fake.
I didn't. The one that I saw that I was wondering.
Is AI implementing Diddy?
Diddy fake news?
Diddy banging kids now?
I don't think they need to add anything to the Diddy stories.
No, it was supposed to be
Diddy stories are crazy enough already.
It was supposed to be a Kendrick Lamar diss to Drake.
Okay.
But one of the lines was like, you better watch your back because Diddy might want to clap again or something like that, which is That is funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Drake also on the allegedly AI diss track. Drake talked about Kendrick's wife cheating on him with his bodyguard while he was like doing push-ups at the local park.
Yep.
That's pretty sick.
It was like, damn.
Isn't it weird though? Now we're at the point where people can release, like there's so much fake news that now they can just release a song, and if people don't like it, be like, that was AI. It wasn't
sick.
even me.
It's
Wasn't even
fucking
me.
great.
AI did that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that Rick Ross responded to the
Yeah.
if it's AI, that's even more funny that Rick Ross is so butthurt about it now.
Well, then he can be like, no, my response was
My
AI.
response.
That was AI too,
It's,
yeah.
it's literally gonna be a never-ending echo.
Yep.
Yeah. We're all on the hook for everything and nothing at the same time. It's a bizarre.
It's gonna get weird. The next 10 years is gonna be even weirder.
Yeah.
It's gonna get so bizarre, because I'm just starting to see like videos and pictures where I'm like, I can barely tell this is fake. Barely.
Yeah.
There's a couple thumbs pointing in weird directions.
That's all that's left.
But that's all there is. And you're like, dude, the second that you can just type a scene and a video shows up where it looks real, you're like, it's over.
Yeah.
Did you see any of the they did like an AI, they had AI do like a depiction of like McDonald's birthday parties in like the 80s.
And
Look those
did
throw those
they
up.
nail it?
No, it's crazy, dude. It's nuts.
Yeah, see, this is where, like, I think AI artistically, I'm actually, like, interested. Is not in terms of, like, okay, AI, write me a stand-up special. Like, George Carlin's estate is putting out an AI stand-up special of him. And I think that's disgusting. I wish they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But stuff like this, where AI just gets stuff wrong.
Yeah, it's
like,
so funny, dude.
It's so
yeah,
funny.
wait till you see these, dude. They're wild.
80s AI.
Dude, but wait.
I'm sorry.
They're so good,
That
dude.
doesn't.
No.
That
just
would
wait.
get me. That would get me.
No, that's what I.
This guy smoking a cigarette.
At first, I thought I was like, okay, this might be real, but then keep going. There's way more. There's like hundreds of them, dude. All right, his fingers are kind of
So
weird.
yeah, so they're
Hands
showing the
a little bit
fingers.
off.
They all, dude. AI sucks at fingers.
He's holding the burger like
Also,
this.
there's a straw in the French fries.
Okay. Is that Hunter Thompson? Whoa. What's even going on here?
Missing teeth.
Right. I never knew McDonald's had teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, it only shows that one image. Go to just images on the Google search. Might have a bunch of them. Yeah, like look
I
at
hate AI generated McDonald's. Whoa.
no, look at the one with like the kids and shit though. It's fucking
Yeah,
like
go to that one.
there's a bunch of them, dude.
See, that would fool me.
That could get scary.
I would think that's real.
Yeah, now go to those related images. Yeah, those are all of them. Like it's like a little kid with a cigarette in the mouth and shit.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of them where like the
all the kids are smoking. That's awesome.
Dude, there was one where like the burger was like cake sized. Like it was just this dude's just a giant burger. It's very fun.
so funny.
Yeah, they're so good though, dude.
That's great, but I do love that the AI is considering smoking was huge in the 80s, and they're like, yeah, kids smoked.
Right.
That's the conclusion the AI is taking.
Yeah.
It's not that far off.
I love how
No, a lot of them did.
It's not,
too,
but it's
you know?
not considering like, oh, age is still a factor. It's like everyone smoked, put cigarettes in their mouths.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. I love her. She's stone faced. She's like not having a good time. That I can.
The jean jacket's pretty spot on too, dude.
Oh yeah, stylistically the hairstyle too.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
very 90s.
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, this is all very quaint. We should laugh about it while we can, because it is.
Oh, they have everyone.
things are gonna get
Everyone has
weird.
mullets almost. That guy with the cigarette. This lady kind of has a lady mullet.
Yeah, the AI stuff is, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like the famous people are going to be the first people to really get screwed.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez porn. It's gonna be great.
I don't know who that is, but
She's
AOC, dude.
sure.
AOC. She's She's either a senator or a representative from Brooklyn. She's super hot.
Okay.
Yeah. She was very outspoken at the beginning of her career. She was a bartender before. It was kind of like in the time after Trump won, there was this flurry of people
who were like, "Hey, I can do it."
Yeah. And she was 100%. And it's funny because she's super anti-Trump.
Is she conservative?
No, she's liberal. Hyper progressive.
Okay.
But she was for a while, people were saying like, "Oh, these are the opposite ends of the spectrum here. He's a million, she's 35. You know, they're both kind of idiots." But she's masterful with social media. She's masterful with public relations and whatnot.
Being hot.
Being hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
sure.
helps.
Nails it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. She did an Instagram live a while ago where she was commenting on some guy who had been catcalling her, and she was like, "This is so disrespectful, like the way they talk to me, like you big booty Latina, that juicy Latina booty or whatever." And I heard some comic be like, "Yeah, stop sexualizing me and my tight, wet pussy."
Oh, that's good.
It's like, you're leaning in.
Dude, we never touched on the Brian Peck thing, though, with Leo.
Yeah.
We skimmed over that. We skimmed over that thing.
Did you watch the Nickelodeon doc? Because I just finished episode 3 or 4 or whatever it was.
What was your response? What do you think?
I was, I guess, fortunate enough that I had stopped watching Nickelodeon at the point where things seemed to get dark. Like, I watched the first All That, which seemed fucked up, but I didn't watch Drake and Josh. I didn't watch any of the shows that they really delved into, but I find it bizarre that the more, like, all you have to do is go to the 90s and in Hollywood and further, and you're like, dude, these Hollywood people didn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
They absolutely were just like, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, don't say anything. These guys get to bang kids if they want to bang kids. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so weird that everyone was aware of what the fuck was going on. The Cosby shit is even scary. I don't know if you've seen the Cosby docs.
I haven't.
The Cosby documentaries are insane because he was so fucking powerful.
Right.
That people on the sets were helping him accomplish this shit.
Oh, Jesus.
And they were just like, yeah, like it's Bill. Like, you just got to do it.
That's what he's doing, yeah.
This is just the way it is.
He's a weirdo.
He's really handsy.
He's a real knucklehead sometimes.
But God is he a moneymaker, so you just got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming the Weinstein thing was the same.
Yeah. This is a weird connection, but bear with me. I remember seeing Dan Bilzerian interviewed years ago, and he talks about this one thing really stuck with me. He was like, I've been like I was in the Navy SEALs briefly, so I've always been like jacked, and like I've always had a lot of money, and those things have really helped me with women. But when I got famous, that's when it just went
got insane,
just crazy.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me because it's like I think that's what it is. It's people get just in that vicinity of fame, and your moral faculties just like turn off.
Well, I just think that
not for everybody, but for some people.
I think fame, the power of fame, I think is way more insane than we even realize. Like, as people who have no fame,
Mm-hmm.
I think that you can't fathom what it would be like if you walked down the street and every single person knew you and came up to you and was like, "Can I have a picture? Like, I want your time. I want anything you have." Like, I think of like people like signing an autograph. It's like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to every human being, if like Leonardo DiCaprio showed up, you'd want to be like, yeah, he put his name on this.
Yeah.
And he can probably do anything he wants with a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
I had,
that's a good point.
When I was at the Middle East several months ago, and Sam Hyde came and did a set at the open mic.
Yeah.
And I have a couple friends that are big Sam Hyde fans. I like some of the things he's done. I respect how like all in he is on comedy. Like he takes a lot of risks, and I respect that. Point is, I'm not a huge Sam Hyde fan, but just knowing who he was, I felt my IQ drop by like 10 points.
100%.
I couldn't think of anything intelligent to say to him, but I knew I wanted to talk to him.
100%. I saw Jessica Biel once in like 3 feet away, and I was like, I can't speak. I have no idea. If she told me to jump, I'd jump.
It's so embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, but I feel like there's people who think they're above it, and it's like, no, you would totally. If she had told me to do anything, I'd been like, sure, absolutely. Like, go swim 100 yards. I'd be like, yeah, for sure. Going to jump in, and I'm going to go swim.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yet to happen to me that somebody I know just casually or that I'm decent friends with has, like, gotten that, you know? And I'm like, looking at Derek Jeter. I remember reading his book as a kid and, like, hearing these quotes from his sister. And just how bizarre of an experience that was.
Yeah.
Like, this was just Derek, and then she became Derek Jeter's sister. Like, that was just her life. That's just been her life.
Yeah.
Everything passes through that filter.
Yeah.
But she still knows him as just this dickhead, you know, she grew up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think... But yeah, I also think, I don't think you really... I always hear people say you don't know how you'll react to fame. You have no idea. And I feel like everyone thinks they're like, I think I could handle it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think the reality is when you have endless amounts of influence and money, I don't think anyone knows how they're going to respond.
Yeah.
I think it would fuck up 99.9% of us.
Yeah. And it does.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said for, I think Rogan has said this, that he thinks, like, he's doing as well as he is because it's taken him a long time to get to this place.
Yeah, that's probably
Whereas
true.
somebody like Diddy, it happened instantly. You know,
He was probably like
Yeah.
25.
yeah,
The biggest thing in rap.
He was a kid.
Yeah.
and became central to the culture for fucking 30 years.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, and now he seems like a bona fide psycho.
yeah,
Like
straight
he
up.
seems like now when people are talking about him, you're like, yo, this guy was doing wild.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did he successfully escape the country?
No, I don't think
I
so.
thought he got cut off in, like, Florida or something.
I think he's hanging out, dude.
Yeah.
I don't think they haven't got him though.
They don't
Yeah.
have him?
No, I think he's just chilling.
Welcome him to Florida with
Where?
open arms. Like,
Florida.
this is our.
That's
kind
where he
of guy.
belongs, dude. Yeah.
Because the news is that he's in a place that doesn't extradite to the United States, and it's like, well, he's in Florida. They are their own thing still.
I love it. I love that we have this is. I mean, speaking again, American pride. Like, I love, like, I kind of loved it during COVID that, like, you had like 50 different experiments of how to handle COVID going on all at once.
Yeah.
You have these
And
50 different states.
Yeah, and Florida was like, it's whatever.
So you have here in Cambridge where I'd go to the dog park and have people look at me if I didn't wear a mask. It's like, we're outside. You know,
Yeah.
that's how crazy it was.
Yeah,
in
but-
Florida, they're like, fuck it, we're going to Disneyland, dude. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
Nothing's closing.
Nothing's
Yep.
closing.
Nothing's closing.
Yeah,
and people
and- yeah.
flock to it.
People flock to it.
I
yeah.
had
Yep.
I had a bunch of friends who were like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm going. And if we die, we die. And I'm always the person who's like, I like observing to see what everyone does. I never participate in anything. So I was just in my fucking room in Boston. But I thought I was like, it's so interesting to see the different ways that people are like. Because some people were like, you better wear the fucking mask, and some people were like, I'm going to Florida and I'm going to have unprotected sex.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't care at all.
I love events like that. I mean, Trump winning was kind of like this too, in the sense that it brought out a side of everybody that you might have known that already about that person, but in a lot of cases, I mean, like, I had friends that had never given a shit about politics at all, and then were just fully activated, either left or right, you know. And some people got fully blackpilled, like, oh, they're all part of some machine, you know.
Yeah.
Like, not quite QAnon, but like bordering on it, and it's like, dude, you've never given a shit about this your entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. I'm the next election is the most. It's the most
so
afraid I've ever been.
Yeah.
I think in my life, like every time I think about what is gonna happen, I don't see any good outcomes. If Trump wins, I think it's gonna be a really bad outcome, and if Biden wins, I think it's gonna be a really bad outcome.
Yeah, Ryan Hamilton had a great joke about this a long time ago, like, that just still rings true. He's just like, have you had a single conversation over the past year that hasn't ended in, well, it's going to be interesting?
That's what it is. It's literally, it's gonna be interesting, but to me, it's like, it's just gonna be scary.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be scary.
Yeah, either way. It's scary what Trump would do in the first day in office, because now not only is he always been crazy, and also he wouldn't have to win, he wouldn't have re-election on his mind at all. So he would just be like, I don't have to be popular anymore. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to maintain his base or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's just like, fuck it, balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And he's going to be on the warpath because he's pissed at everybody, because everybody's been trying to take him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm less afraid of what either president would do and just I'm afraid what the losing side is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's going to be cool. I don't think the left are going to be cool if Trump wins. I don't think they're going to be cool at all.
What is the worst that the left ever does?
I don't know. I just feel like there's enough super left people that are fucking scary.
Yeah.
I think that we act like only the super right is scary, and the super left is terrifying too.
Oh yeah, they're castrating kids.
Yeah.
Well, for me, what was the place in fucking? There was some like experiment in Washington, or I think it was Washington.
Oh, the Chaz.
The Chaz.
I was obsessed with this.
Dude, the Chaz was this thing that like only only my conservative friends knew about, and they were showing me this, and I was like, dude, is this real? They're like, it's real.
Yeah.
And no one. It was not on the news.
Well, I'm sure it was on Fox.
It was on Fox, but I was a CNN family growing up. I never saw it, and then they showed it to me. I was like, yeah, this is just as scary. These guys have automatic weapons. There were dudes with automatic weapons, and they're like, yeah, we're like super left wing. I was like, what is this?
Dude, it instantly
How crazy have these people got?
They instantly became everything that they were hoping to get rid of. They were like, the cops are fucked up, they're militarized, we need to have like a community police force. Instantly they got taken over by dudes with fucking
guns.
assault rifles.
With assault rifles.
Yeah, just patrolling the streets.
Building walls. And they were all building walls. And you're like, oh yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah, like instantly.
Chaos becomes chaos. No matter if it's a leftward chaos or a rightward chaos. It's going to be people with guns building walls.
You know what it was? It's like, remember towards in the third act of The Dark Knight Rises, when Bane has like released all the prisoners and like the Gotham City island becomes like quarantined. It kind of becomes its own state. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly you have these guys driving around in armored cars and with assault rifles and shit. Like, it instantly became that. And these are supposedly, the hippie, progressive, compassionate types.
Yeah.
Yeah. To your point, it's all just as bad.
I just think that like 5% on both sides, you're like, whoa, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like this super both, like on both sides. And I ran into some QAnon people recently who were like family members, and you're like, this is so crazy.
They've left the planet. They're
all in on all of it.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, there's microchips.
We should just set up like a little civil war for that 5% and the right 5%.
We'll just pretend like
and just
we're all
let them, just let them war it out. Dude.
I mean, that's what the civil war of this country is going to be. Because the thing about these 5% is that these people, they're the only ones that vote. they're the only ones that are politically activated. The rest of us don't. Really
they're all the 5% is 100% active.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The 100% of the 5% are going out and voting, and they're trying fraud. They're trying all the tricks. They're nuts, dude.
Yeah.
They're Looney Tunes, and then the people in the middle are like, I'm gonna go vote. Probably.
Yeah, unless...
If traffic's not bad.
Yeah, unless someone... yeah.
If I remember.
Yeah.
Like,
if I remember.
Yeah, like if dinner goes long or if breakfast gets at, like, I'm not going to go.
Yeah, if, it's a thought I had a lot about January 6th, is that, like, if... Obviously what they did was crazy and irredeemable, but if you think about it from their perspective, if you think about, like, if you take for granted what they thought was happening, they thought that, like...
They thought it was Boston Tea Party Part 2 is what they thought.
Yeah, well, they thought that the election had been stolen.
Totally
and that
stolen.
we'd entered, like, this dictatorship, that democracy was over. And if you believe that, then, yeah, you should storm the Capitol.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But that's, like, the thing about the 5% and why they're super active is because in their head they're like, dude, it's real.
Yeah.
They're like, it's real. We got to go into that Capitol and kill all the senators. And you're like,
we have to shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk right now.
And there were just a bunch of mentally unstable. There were just people who were like,
mental instability.
He wasn't really part of it. He just was like cool with chaos.
Yeah. Well, I love that because you have these super mentally unstable people, and 99% of the time their life is like running in contradiction with everything that's happening in the world. And then on January 6th, everything made sense.
They're like, yeah. They're like, oh, everyone's finally starting to catch on.
You get it. You guys finally all get it.
You get it. You're finally seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole like dog that caught the car energy of that whole situation.
That's what it was.
Them getting inside. And
dude, they got inside and they were like, "Oh wait, there's not like a."
All right, take the podium. Take the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all just started like steal chairs and shit.
I tried to do a bit about this a long time ago, and January 6th material is so tired. It's like it's hard to make work, but like
I know.
just that it's like they thought it was summer camp capture the flag. Like as long as you just get to as you just get to the podium, you win.
You win.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. That's definitely accurate. That seemed to be what it was.
Yeah.
Imagine being that lady though. She thought she
died?
yeah, like she thought.
Oh, someone died?
Yeah, someone died.
Dude, one of the security guys like blew her fucking head off, dude. But like, imagine like going in there.
Funny, but it is.
No, it is.
I don't know
yeah.
why it's funny,
Respectful
but
of
it's,
the dead,
it's
yeah.
certainly. Yeah.
She fucked around and found out, dude.
There was one casualty.
5 people died.
Five.
One shot by Capitol Police. Yeah. So
What
that lady,
what happened to the other 4?
drug overdose was one of them.
Okay, well.
3 died of natural causes. They got too amped up and had heart attacks, probably.
They probably like caught COVID.
3 people
Yeah,
with
maybe.
cancer died inside the Capitol.
Yeah.
A police officer died of natural causes? Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
shit.
know. I think that's AI. Like, like, what do you mean natural causes?
Yeah, that I don't get, but they got trampled, maybe?
That seems a little bit.
Yeah, but that
like,
wouldn't be that wouldn't be. You wouldn't be like, oh yeah, he grandpa
Naturally
died of
got-
natural causes. He
Well, I
was
mean,
trampled.
I think this is, not to
Grandma
be,
got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah.
not to be this guy, but that does sound like, kind of liberal media hyping it up in every way possible.
I guess,
Kind of
yeah.
like COVID when they're like, everybody's dying from COVID. It's like, these people died in a car accident. Like that.
Yeah,
Just because they had COVID at the time doesn't mean they died from COVID.
Yes. Yeah.
I have.
But, no, that lady, she was like one of the first ones in the building.
Dude, New York
Always.
Times, New York Times wants you to pay for things.
The
Get
failing
fuck outta
New
here.
York Times. I'm ready
Yep.
for. I'm done with them, dude. Ready for them. I just clicked on an article, but. Yeah, dude. I wonder if I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but during the George Floyd protests / riots, I was at my buddy John's in Virginia, and we would watch streams.
What part of Virginia? Because Virginia, there's like. There's like Virginia's for lovers, and then there's Virginia.
Alexandria.
Okay,
Alexandria.
you were in Virginia's for lovers, Virginia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did have. This is a conversation. Quick tangent. This is a conversation we had, which is that is the best place to live in this country. You want to live in a blue city, so you're surrounded by sane people, but a blue city in a red state, so there's no laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And taxes are good.
There's no taxes.
Taxes are good, but you live in a liberal.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
not surrounded by literal people. You're not surrounded by storming the Capitol.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't want to be in Charlottesville with tiki torches.
It is funny how quickly a culture permeates a person. Like John, my buddy John has been a liberal guy my entire life that I've known him. He moved to Virginia. He had 5 guns in like a week, almost instantly.
Yeah, because we're all products of where the hell we are.
Of course,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're
But
chameleons.
anyway, we were watching the riots through these live streams. It was really cool how it was set up. So you'd watch it, like it would be. You'd have like 8 different quadrants on the screen that were all just live streams from people's phones, and the size of the quadrant would adjust depending on how many people were tuned into the stream. So if somebody was capturing something really interesting, more people would tune in, and it would get bigger. It's kind of a perfect way to consume it.
They did it like NFL Red Zone.
Much like NFL Red Zone. Yeah,
they hit the octo box, dude.
they red zoned the George Floyd riots.
That's sick.
But I noticed this weird thing in my own psychology is like when it started waning and like dying down, I was kind of disappointed. Like I kind of wanted this. There was a part of me that was like, oh well, I guess back to boring life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
And then Rittenhouse
But
did
there's
it.
always.
But there's Rittenhouse brought us back.
Yeah, Rittenhouse came through and fucking.
You never have to wait long before something else happens where you're like, well, now this is nuts.
Right, yeah. I don't know. I just felt like an asshole. Like, I don't think I would feel like that, like, if there was a ceasefire in Gaza tomorrow. I don't think I would be disappointed by that. There was something about it happening on our own turf, like, that was weirdly exciting to me. It's like, oh, things are happening. Maybe that's just because it was COVID and we've been locked up for so long.
Yeah, everyone was going nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone was going insane.
Yeah. Let's chalk it up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my, desire to see everything burn.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of that in all of us.
I think so, that's what I'm getting at.
Is
That I think that's in all of us, and it's like it's tough to like see that in yourself and be like, fuck, like.
Well, that's why those riots.
Same thing. Like, oh, this wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't become this person, and then you totally do. You know?
That's why those riots got so crazy, though. Right? Because everyone was like locked up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let's fucking. This is something to do now.
Everyone was locked up. And
I don't got work tomorrow.
When
Let's go fucking. Let's go hang out.
Like news,
let's go loot.
When it becomes the biggest news, it's like, oh, this is like recruiting.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
It's like, yo, let's go riot.
Yeah. Yeah, something else John and I noticed when we were watching these is that like when you're not watching, like CNN will clip out like big like bricks flying through windows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're just watching it, slowly develop over time, like you realize like, oh, this is a social event for most people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people were just like
it's still a lot of dudes flirting with each other. It's still a lot of dudes trying to get laid.
That's exactly what it was.
Like I think the reality is that you can't have large groups of dudes and girls there without having dudes being like, maybe I can turn this into getting laid.
Yeah. So have you always
it's like
social justice?
It's like what Jordan Peterson says about men and women working together.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Against it?
Yeah, well, he's saying that it's going to take time before it can
work.
Smoothly
I think the reality is that
without like people trying to fuck each other is pretty much what he means.
Oh, I mean, I think
it's like that's always going to be a thing.
I think that men and women, obviously, everyone should be able to work, but I think I think that you're lying if you think that you're putting these people in the same place if it's not a thing people are thinking about.
Of course,
constantly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an insane fantasy to think you can put people in the same place for 40 hours a week. This is the majority of their life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to find courtship in the 2 hours at night you have off.
Yeah.
Well, we're pushing an hour, man.
Want to call it?
Got any updates from DC and Baltimore? What's the scene like over there, man?
I love DC.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the scene. It's different. There's plenty that's the same and there's plenty that's different.
Mm-hmm.
The things that the main thing that's different is like there's a lot less cocaine. Like I just feel like that the people in Boston, it's like these are artists who are nuts and crazy and I love them all. And in DC everyone is like pretty much professional.
Yeah, it's last week we did a podcast with Raul, and we're not sure if we can put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I love Raul.
I love Raul.
I love Raul. And Raul messaged me, and I got back to him immediately, and I've heard nothing. So it's like, he could be anywhere.
Yep.
But yeah, like in DC, it's like everyone shows up, they do their time. It's not, I wouldn't say, it's like way less community. It's more like these are colleagues, you got to do your job, you got to do it well, and when you're done, like here I remember always being like, can I leave? Like I've always felt like, oh, at a mic you have to stay and help support, and they're like, yeah, get out of here, we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like do your job and move
go.
on. We're not really friends. I have a couple people I'm close with, but it's like here it was like I feel like you had to be friends with all 100 people.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's more people in Boston doing it because they really like need it, to balance out some kind of like social deficit in their life.
it's a bunch of
you know what I mean?
We were all really weird.
Yeah, we were all weird.
And I feel like in DC it's like I'm the weird guy.
Yeah.
Which is insane because in Boston I was not the weird guy.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I was
you
not
were
the weird
milk
guy.
with toast in this environment.
Exactly.
As am I.
Everyone
honestly.
here is very interesting and they do a million things as far as like art goes. There's a lot of people who are painters. There's a lot of people who are into film. There, everyone just wants to be a professional stand-up.
Interesting.
That's really all it is. Yeah.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it being such a political city, like oratory and like the tradition of like the monologue in general. I think probably has a big hold over people.
Yeah, I think it's just. I think that DC is a place where it's a lot of young professionals, and you just get a lot of young professionals doing comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's. I will say it's a little bit less interesting. Like there's also less drama.
Mm-hmm.
There's less drama, but the comedy is like I don't know. It's kind of like if you've seen New York comedians, you can see 100 of the same people. doing the same types of jokes. And in DC, you are like, oh, this person is trying to be Shane Gillis. This person is trying to be this. This person is trying to be this. And in Boston, I could not place people. Yeah. Everyone was just a weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, now that you mentioned that, I think, like, I've noticed a couple Shane Gillis's, and, like, I've noticed, like, I mean, myself, like, copying people unintentionally, but I don't see it nearly as often as I thought I would when I first started.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are like their own characters.
Boston, I feel like they are their own characters.
Yeah.
They are their own characters. And I think that's really good for the performances. But you have a bunch of Looney Tunes. That's like, it's a bunch of crazy people, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But it is a bunch of crazy people.
Well, we miss you, man.
Yeah, I miss the scene, and Raul, if you listen to this, fucking message me.
On that note,
yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
This ain't nothing without it. Don't let them get